Hi guys, and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 21, final round of this Moto3 World Championship, and it's right here in Valencia. So Grant in pole position with Masia and Acosta on the front row, Minio, Binder and John McPhee on the second, Toba, Suzuki, Artigas, Rodrigo, Foggia, Garcia, Fenati, Sasaki, Guevara, Antonelli, Alcoba on Chu, Yamanaka, Kofler, Dupasquier, Cooney, Fernandez, Nepa, Salach, Fallon, Tatai, Faridis Diar, Ricardo Rossi, the back of this grid. So waiting for the lights to go out, and the World Championship leader is going to accelerate as much as he can. It's a decent start from the World Championship leader. Of course, only utilising power setting 1. You know the score by now. Our main goal is to finish ahead of Darren Binder, but we are losing places rapidly going into turn 1. We're down to 13th place with even teammate Romano Fenati ahead of us. Sasaki kicking the right leg of his Tech 3 KTM there. Not sure what happened to him as we now break into the McDowan corner for turn 2. Antonelli getting closer and closer to the rear of Grant. Please don't take me out. Not here today. Not when this is so crucial for the World Championship. So a quick reminder, 22 points ahead of Darren Binder. So as things stand right now, Grant would still be the World Champion. The only way for Darren Binder to win is he has to win the Grand Prix today, and Grant must crash out. So the only way possible for Binder to win is if Grant crashes and he wins, and that is a lot of work to do. And of course we have been superb in the practice and qualifying sessions. You know we're going to be giving it 120%, just like the AI is on here today. Now onto the left hand side for turn 8, trailing behind Nicolo Antonelli in 15th place. We would acquire 1 single point for finishing in 15th place. And now we go onto the right hand side, we're going to try and get up on the inside of Antonelli, not quite there. But if we run it wide and potentially get a little bit of a cutback, as the Comelin Grassini rider, Jeremy Alcoba, is right behind us. You can just see him briefly in the picture there. There's Sasaki, Antonelli, they're doing battle ahead of us. Sasaki now loses the position to Nicolo Antonelli, but Grant, beautifully done around the outside, gives a little bit of a lean on the Red Bull KTM Tech 3, and now up the inside of the Avintia rider, Nicolo Antonelli. Now onto the left-hand side for the Adrian Campos corner, turn 14, the final corner here in Valencia, and it brings you onto this magnificent long straight. You can see quite a lot. The viewing angles for the fans are pretty good, but we are losing a couple of tenths there to Kaito Toba as Nicolo Antonelli makes his way through. 2.5 seconds to the leader ahead, Pedro Acosta. We've got a lot of work to do if we believe we can chase them down as we go around the outside of Antonelli. Not quite. We might be able to get him on the brakes going into turn 2 perhaps. Little bit of a tighter line for Antonelli, but we'll get him on the cutback if we can be brave enough, get really close to his KTM, very close indeed. We might get him on the next cutback for turn 4 for the Nico Sarol corner. Still not quite on the right hand side of the tyre once again, utilising traction control setting 3. I do feel I have a nice comfortable rhythm with traction control 3. Anything more or anything less, not so much the same. So I'm going to have to apologise for my voice in this one. It's a little bit croaky. I think I might have damaged something after recording too many of these in one day. Well, things get hectic in Moto3, as you know, and the voice starts to disappear, and this might be the case here today as we go into turn 8, trailing behind Nicolo Antonelli still, but I do fancy a lunge up the inside. Oh, beautifully done. He almost touched my Dunlop tyre there. He would have changed the colour of his leathers into black after the rubber would have leaned onto him. As we get closer and closer to Kaito Toba, chucked in a little bit of rear brake there because I thought we were going to run it a little bit too deep. Even the rear brake couldn't stop us from going in too wide for that particular corner. So 2.5 seconds as Nicolo Antonelli, brave move up the inside of the World Championship leader as we now flick it to the left-hand side. Contact made there with Nicolo Antonelli. I don't think he appreciated that, but he must realise that chopping and changing and getting involved with each other right now is not going to help us catch up to the championship rivals ahead. Even for himself, he could do with some decent points to get him back into at least some sort of decent championship position. So Pedro Acosta immediately set the fast lap of the Grand Prix, then was immediately bettered by Sergio Garcia from the Team Aspar, as we now go into the left-hand side for the Jorge Martinez Aspar corner. Nice, precise, tight apex there has given us a lot of extra speed, and now we're going to be really closer to Kaito Toba, the CIP Green Power KTM. Tell you what, we could be even close enough to go for a lunge up into turn 4 in just a moment's time. So turn 3 to be navigated, turn 4 potentially we are far back. That would have been a very brave and audacious move if we're going to go for it there. And considering how important the championship is right now, and considering where we need to finish, I don't think we should be chucking it up the inside of anyone a bit ludicrously like that would have been. Now into the left-hand side for Nieto. Angel Nieto corner, getting really, really close to Kaito Toba. We might be able to get him in the same spot we got Nicolo Antonelli on the lap prior, which of course was turn 8. Coming up in a moment's time. Braking. Oh, that's going to be a lunge and a half, that is. That is beautiful up on the inside of the Japanese rider. Didn't think that was going to work, but you betcha it did. Left-hand side, little kink to the right here for turn 10. Start braking on the angle, but don't brake completely because you will tuck the front. Nice and gentle entry going into turn 11. Pick the bike up and try and get in behind the riders ahead of us. Romano Fenati, Dennis Foggia, the Leopard Racing Honda there. Just we need to close in on both of them there. As we flick it to the left-hand side now for turn 13. Beautiful long corner this one. And then we'll get down ready. Oh, it's Fenati. I think he's lining up a move on the inside of Foggia. Is he going to get it done? Not quite. Foggia, of course, on board the Honda will have the extra speed. The Rocket, as he's known as, is going to get that extra bit of pace to get away from Romano Fenati. But I tell you what, he's shown me up here. He's proved me wrong. Romano Fenati on the Husqvarna. He's a small chap, Romano Fenati. Perhaps that helped him get into the slipstream a little bit and just helped him accelerate beyond the Leopard Racing Honda. Now on to the next part of the track, the Sector 1. Going to be trying to brake here. Maybe go a nice little tight line here and dive up the inside of Foggia. You betcha. Look how beautifully precise that was. Foggia didn't stand a chance. He's now in this Husqvarna battle as we have a teammate Romano Fenati to beat next. Romano, let me get through, please. I'm in the battle for a championship here, mate. Oh, what a good job he picked up the motorcycle. I don't fancy fighting with one of the most aggressive riders in Moto3 history. Also one of the most successful riders in Moto3. Romano Fenati has many wins and many podiums under his belt. So good job for the man on board the Husqvarna. Quick check behind me to make sure he's not going to be close enough for a lunge, but never mind, it looks like he was anyway. I really don't fancy fighting with Fenati. He has to realise that I am in a massive battle here for the championship. 22 points advantage or not, I don't fancy fighting with Romano Fenati. Infighting is definitely not what we want here, or desire to win the World Championship. Right hand side for turn 11. Looks like that's Gabriel Rodrigo who's gone a little bit wide. Xavier Artigas, the Spaniard at his home track, looking pretty promising. He's just further ahead up the road. Sergio Garcia, another rider who's been criticised for only performing on Spanish soil. Of course, that has been changed as he won in Le Mans this season in real life. Now braking into the final corner of turn 14. Lovely smooth braking going into the Adrian Campos corner. Now we can get the slipstream of Sergio Garcia. We still lack a lot of speed being on power setting 1, but each lap we're getting closer and closer to the riders ahead of us. And of course this is a 9-lap train for the Grand Prix victory right now, so we have to continue to push forward and chase each rider down. If we get closer to Sergio Garcia, without abusing track limits of course, don't fancy any more track limits, a little bit too much in the past, and long lap penalties, I don't fancy that here, definitely not here today in this championship showdown. But if we manage to latch on the back of Sergio Garcia, that will enable us some extra speed getting into the slipstream and giving us that bit of extra oomph to chase down the riders ahead. Now Darren Binder as it stands is in 3rd place, but he hasn't made an impression of trying to beat Pedro Acosta or his teammate Jama Masia. Now of course that's a bit immaterial because whether Darren Binder wins it or not, Grant is sitting pretty in 10th place. So therefore Grant will be the world champion. Grant has to finish out of the points and Binder to win this world championship. It's pretty much too much of a tall order for Darren Binder, but you never know what's going to happen. You really can't predict Moto3. It has been so topsy-turvy all season. Lots of surprises. When it looks like we've got the most momentum and we're going to just dominate, something bad happens, circa Gabriel Rodrigo and I crashing into the Chang International Circuit. But coming out of turn 11, we have closed in on Sergio Garcia. This is going to be another good lap from us as well. 2 laps in the low 141s. This could be a third to get us into the 140s perhaps. Could we get a sub 140 if we get really, really close to Sergio Garcia? Still plenty of laps remaining as we dive up at the inside of Garcia. Is it going to make it stick? Would be wise to hold back a little bit and just take the slipstream, and that is similar to what we have just done. Now into the rear of Garcia, you'll see the difference. Look at the time of the top right corner of your screen. It is increasing due to that extra bit of slipstream. That is there, the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, a 1:41.152 for the World Championship leader. He's pretty much got 2 hands on the trophy right now and -1 thumb or finger as we're getting closer and closer to the completion of this Moto3 World Championship. Now around the outside of Garcia, then we'll try and dive up on the inside of Xavier Artigas. Another Leopard Honda dispatched off, but he's still there. Is the Spaniard going to dive up on the inside into the Nico Tirol corner? Not quite. He's certainly thought about it, but I'm sure he understands the significance of this race because, of course, it's super important for Grant to at least stay on board the motorcycle, and I'm sure he doesn't want to ruin the championship by taking out the championship leader. Now onto the left-hand side for Angel Nieto corner. We were really, really close to touching the track limits warning there. Well, thankfully we stayed on the rumble strip. You can do that, of course. Rumble strip is in bounds. As we now go into turn 8, a little bit wide. Not really fancying to get engage in a battle with Gabriel Rodrigo. Things haven't always gone well when battling the Argentine. It's making me nervous knowing he's right there ahead of us on track right now. Now onto the right-hand side, getting super close to Rodrigo, trying to find out where we're stronger, where we can have a little bit of a lunge. Still didn't get into the sub-140s, but I tell you what, this lap could be the one to do it. As we get into the right-hand side for turn 12, now onto the left-hand side for turn 13, right behind Gabriel Rodrigo, waiting for a lunge. Where's it going to come? Where's it going to happen? Could we go around the outside into the Adrian Campos corner? That would be bloody brave. And tell you what, we might as well have done it here, but not quite. As you'd see, the wide line didn't quite work as Gabriel Rodrigo managed to accelerate with massive speed to get away from the Husqvarna. So another lap is complete. We are more than 50% of this race completed right now. I do see Xavi Artigas on the left-hand side of my screen there. Fingers crossed he doesn't go for any audacious or silly lunges. Thankfully, he held back a little bit. But we did lose a bit of ground to Gabriel Rodrigo. The Argentine got away from us. But we do go into the McDowan corner with a lot of confidence as we get alongside Rodrigo now. The man in 7th place, the number 2, going around the outside, but that is good defending from Gabriel Rodrigo. The Argentine doesn't fancy losing a position. This is going to be a big race for him as well. Bit of disappointment towards the end of the season, but he can get himself back into 3rd place of the championship if he continues to fight ahead and get ahead of Pedro Acosta. He has to fight more, though. He has to do more than this. He can't sit there in 7th as we go alongside them both. What a move! Acosta sandwiched! Goodness me, both men, 3 men all crashing there and bumping each other into the Aflicción corner of turn 7. Who's going to be brave on the brakes? Goodness me, Grant's not going to be that brave, is it? Goodness me! Both men are colliding once again. Acosta and Rodrigo fighting it out as Darren Binder, just further ahead of your screen there, was having a good old look at this ding-dong that's occurring. Grant up at the inside of Acosta, not quite. Acosta's run it deep. Oh, and Rodrigo's gone down! I told you! I told you! I told you it happened! Rodrigo is not a man to be trusted. Don't go anywhere near him on board the track when things get heated. He has gone down once again, and that is his runners-up championship gone as we just barely survive adversity there. We could have died. Goodness me, that was too close. Thank goodness we weren't there, and we are still challenging for at least a podium finish. We're in behind John McPhee now. No chance of improving on the fastest lap, but we still hold the fastest lap of the race so far with a 1:41.152. But I'm pretty confident now going into the Jorge Martinez Aspar corner. Nice tight apex, get right on the exit of John McPhee. That's a brilliant exit there. Lots of speed coming out of the corner as we now go into the McDowan corner of turn 2 alongside John McPhee on the exit here, potentially. Not quite. The Petronas SRT Honda still hanging in there, doing a grand job of holding on to 5th place. But Darren Binder, who has occupied 3rd place since this Grand Prix started, has not made a single impression of moving ahead of Tatsuki Suzuki or even Yamamasya. Yamamasya once again mentioning him again, doing such a superb job, leading the Grand Prix, just focusing on his lines and just focusing on the Grand Prix and the task at hand. Terrific job from Yamamasya. It's too little too late for the World Championship, but it's good to see him developing some confidence for the next season. Now getting closer and closer to John McPhee into turn 8. He's run it a little bit deep, and we have a nice tight line here. Could potentially get up the inside going into turn 10 or turn 11. Might not be close enough. Turn 11 perhaps going to be really close. Oh, I definitely thought about it. But tell you what, on the cutback, we might have him. We won't have the same speed as the Honda. Get into his slipstream, potentially go around the outside into turn 12. And then flick it up on the inside on the ready of the exchange for turn 13 as we flick it to the left, getting a bit out of shape there, but still right onto the rear as this group is seriously getting bunched now. John McPhee fancies a lunge on his teammate Darren Binder. Mino wants to go around the outside. Suzuki hanging in there in 2nd place. It's getting really tight now as we get onto the slipstream. We could have some crucial slipstream here going across the line in a moment's time. That will be lap 9 started now. Lap 8 has been completed, and we are getting closer and closer to the guys ahead. Binder now occupies 2nd place, but for how long? Mino fancies a lunge, but look at John McPhee defending his teammate. That is brilliant. from John McPhee. Emilio fought back immediately though, and now it's going to be Suzuki from second into 6th place potentially as Grant goes up at the inside of not one but 2 riders perhaps. Not quite, but Suzuki went from second to 6th, but he fights back Grant. He's trying to get up at the inside now going into turn 4. Nico Tyrrell corner, beautifully done for Tatsuki Suzuki, lifting the World Championship leader up. Excellent stuff from the Japanese rider. Now onto the right-hand side for turn 5. You know Grant will be trying to go for him going into the Angel Nieto corner, but not quite close enough. Turn 6 navigated. That means there's not that many corners and laps to go. I'm really enjoying this one so far, and you know what? I think we've won the World Championship. We just have to be smart about this one. But do we beat 2? Oh my goodness! I had to slam the rear brake on them. We practically took out Suzuki there. If I hadn't hit the rear brake, then we would have both gone skittling into the gravel. Lord almighty, that was too close. Fabio Quartararo's championship challenge ended in that corner last year. Ours almost did the same. Goodness me, that was too close. I was just about to mention how we should probably take it a bit easier and focus on just finishing in 6th place, because there's nothing wrong with a valiant 6th. But never mind, I forgot my own advice and I'm going straight back at him. I want to get into the podium positions. You can't win with a 6th place. It's not the same. We go round the outside of Suzuki, round the outside of McPhee, getting closer and closer to try and take some slipstream. We need some crucial slipstream getting across the line. Otherwise Suzuki's going to get past us again. Going into Jorge Martinez Aspar, and look at him. He's on the left-hand side of your screen there, going alongside us. He's quick enough with us getting slipstream and him completely without. That's incredible. That's how much of your hindrance power setting 1 is, but I do enjoy the extra challenge. Now into turn 2. McPhee to be beaten first. I'm getting alongside him. Binder's not going to believe his eyes when he sees that Husqvarna get through. He's going to be like, what on earth is he doing there? He's meant to be down in 15th. As we go on to the right-hand side for Nico Tyrrell, where are we going to attack Binder? Where do we fancy it? Where do we want to just show him up? He's seen the blue and the really bright yellow. He knows he's coming. He knows I'm there. And he just might as well fight for the victory or the podium. Just accept defeat. Accept that Grant has been the better man once again, Darren. And Grant is going to win the World Championship. But there's still many, many laps to go in this one. We're not even on the penultimate lap just yet. So who knows what's going to happen. We do run it a little bit wide into turn 8. Get ready to get in behind Darren Binder. We are really close now. Where are we going to go for a lunge? Up onto the inside of turn 10 perhaps. We're going to be alongside him. Up on the inside of turn 10. That's a stupendous move. Stunning move from the stunning one. Now onto the right hand side for turn 11. Darren Binder did not even see that coming. But he's fighting back. He's fighting back. Can he go over the inside? Grant goes around the outside along each other now. Petronas, SRT and Husker battling in out here. Oh my goodness. We go into turn 13, now turn 14, occupying 3rd place after a pretty fierce battle that has just ended in 2 corners, as we now get in behind Andrea Mino and want to do the business and escape from Darren Binder. Across the line, penultimate lap time. We want the podium, we want the rubles. It'd just make the win so much satisfying, but never mind, Darren Binder's on the left-hand side. Good braking into turn 1 deters Darren Binder from getting up at the inside. He's going to have to be really brave going into turn 2 in a moment. Andrea Mino should spend more time looking forward than backwards because Grant is charging. Can he get up the inside? A little bit of contact made there. Rubbing is racing. Grant into second. Or will Mino over the line though for the Nico Tyrrell corner? It's going to be too close. But Grant sliding the rear into Nico Tyrrell. This is a man who's fighting for the World Championship, and now all of a sudden he's seeing red because he sees Jama Masia leading the Grand Prix by half a second. Could we pinch Jama Masia's pockets like we did on Phillip Island? Once again, we're in pursuit of Jama Masia. He was leading in Phillip Island, he was leading in Sepang, and he's leading here today in Valencia. Turn 7, navigated well. Turn 8 to be navigated now. We are getting closer and closer to the Red Bull KTM IO rider. Now bear in mind, if Red Bull win here today or even finish second, they're going to win the team championship, which, crazy enough, the Petronas team have just dominated all season up to the last 2. So this is going to be an impeccable performance from Jama Masia to win his team the very, very valuable team championship. Now we did just get track limit warning there, but I'm not too concerned. We still have 3 more attempts of, or 3 more abuses, if you will, as Jama Masia still leads this Grand Prix. We only want one thing, and that's to end this championship on a victory. That would be absolutely superb. Going into Adrian Campos, we ran it a little bit wide there. Now we're going to lose a bit of speed on the straight, but I tell you what, this lap could put us into the sub 140s, and on the second to final lap, that's incredible. Mino behind by half a second. His podium chances pretty much nailed, because I don't think Darren Binder's going to be close enough. But we take a nice tight apex into the Jorge Martinez Aspar. Turn 2 to be navigated in a moment's time for the final time of asking. Going into the left-hander for McDoohan. Going to be close. Masia ran it a little bit deep. Close enough. We're going to be right on the slipstream. That's what we need. We need as much slipstream as possible to chase down Jama Masia on this final lap. Nico Tirol corner navigated extremely well. One more right-hander for turn 5, and then we'll have the change of direction for turn 6. We're right on his rear tail now, trying to get up on the inside. Turn 6 perhaps. Can we get close enough? Masia is playing a wonderful race here, defending like an absolute champion. Brilliant stuff from Jama. We're going to have to do what we can now. Potentially turn 8. I don't think we're going to be close enough. Masia's in a league of his own right now as we get closer and closer to the Red Bull KTM. Use a bit of slipstream here and a bit of speed. There's not much life left in the left-hand side of those tyres. We should probably accept defeat and just finish in second. But we've never done that before and we're not going to do it now. Going into the right under a turn 11. It's going to have to be the final corner, but I'm not sure if we're going to have enough speed. We could potentially get into the change of direction of turn 13, breaking into turn 12 now. Nice tight apex, a little bit wide, a little bit too shaky as we get onto the left-hand side for turn 13. Could be a mover going into turn 14 alongside each other now. He lifts Masia up temporarily. Grant goes into the lead temporarily, not quite. Alongside each other, bit of contact made there. Masia got the extra speed. The voice is gone. Everything's going to heck right now, but we're getting closer and closer to Masia. But Masia will win here in Valencia. But salute the new Moto3 World Champion. What a finish, ladies and gentlemen. Jama Masia wins by a 10th over Matt Grant. And Andrea Mino finishes off the podium with 3rd place. But unfortunately for Darren Binder, no success for him as he finishes in 4th place. Looking at the World Championship, yes, you're seeing the achievements pop up. Matt Grant wins by 29 points ahead of Darren Binder and 62 over Pedro Acosta. Phenomenal season, but I don't think the championship standings really show the competitiveness of this season. It has been absolutely brilliant. We now take a look at the Team Championship, and Petronas Sprinter didn't manage to hold on. Red Bull KTM IO wins by 15 points ahead of Petronas Sprinter, and Sterile Ghana Max Racing Team 3rd place with 369 points. Amazing job for the Red Bull KTM IO factory team. But now we go to Parc Fermé, and for some reason my bike is looking a bit worse for wear. I don't remember crashing at any point. But that has been the podium celebration, a 2nd place in the final round of Moto 3. Amazing championship that I have absolutely loved every single second of recording this and even doing the voiceovers, regardless whether the voice has just died on the final round. Amazing performance, great to see Matt Grant celebrating with the guys and the team. We'll see once again when he goes back to the pit. So a nice slow ride into the pits for Grant as he wins the World Championship. The Moto3 World Champion looked to be pretty confident all season. He looked to have the upper hand on most of the riders throughout, winning lots and lots of last lap battles, but being down into power setting 1, facing into adversity and still coming away with the World Championship is testament to his strength, his skill and his team. Great job though, guys. Thank you so much for joining me this season. It has been an absolute pleasure. I cannot wait to do it again in Moto 2, so I hope you guys are just as excited as I am. Got a little bit of a teaser video for you next week, so stay tuned for that one. And then we will start our new chapter. But for now, thanks for watching, guys. As always, like, comment and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.